Hello and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. This week we are talking about episode 6 of Survivor 48, Doing the Damn Thing. But before we get into the episode, Maddie, I have to ask, how are you doing?
I am so good. I came with a small little haul today.
Oh,
This week I went to World Market, probably one of, if not my favorite store to just go walk around and browse in, and always come out with some fun little snacks. So today I thought I would share a few of the snacks that I got. Others are already gone and in the trash, but so I have three very exciting ones. What made me want to go to World Market this week was I saw someone post on TikTok that they started carrying the Swedish gummy candies. And I was like, oh, I have to
are those the
try.
ones that were like on TikTok? Like people were buying
Yes.
them for a lot of money.
Yes. So they have different price options at World Market. Like some of them, well, for a little bag was like $12. And I was like, I'm not going to do that. So these were cheaper, but they're not a variety pack. But maybe one of my new favorite gummies, sour elderflower fish.
Oh,
And so they're like cute yellow. They're really big. Like honestly, that's like almost actual size.
wow.
And then they're like just the perfect amount of sour, and they're not too sour, not too sweet, but they definitely give that like herbal elderflower taste, and they're just so perfect, and the packaging is so cute. But yeah, this is that TikTok famous brand Bon Bon, a Swedish candy company.
People were buying like those big kits, right? Like it was like a ton of
Yes.
different
Like the
ones.
mix and match.
Right.
Yes. So I still wanted to get the same brand, but I didn't want to
Oh,
get like, oh, Keith does hear crinkling and stuff for him. Do you like those? No, okay. Next. One of my favorite. I don't know where these are from. One of my I think maybe Australia. Oh yes, Australia's favorite biscuits. These are gonna go ahead and be Tim Tams. Love a Tim Tam. We were talking about milk last week and how I don't really drink milk. That is true, except the exception to the rule is Tim Tams, because if you bite off the little edges and then you suck milk through them like a straw, then they get like so perfectly soft and delicious, and they're perfect. I like the classic dark. And then my last thing that I brought is a fun drink. I know you don't drink soda, but I do love a Coca-Cola. And look at this cute peach cola from
oh,
China.
love
Why can't our
that.
packaging look like this? Like, it's even more pretty in person, like the cute little ombre with the little peaches.
A nice little aluminum can moment.
Cute little can moment. Other things I got but are no longer with us. I got Logan a ginger beer from the UK. I got myself a black tea with popping pomegranate boba drink. That was delicious. And then Logan's favorite like chocolate candy bar is, what is the brand? It's like purple packaging. I don't remember what it's called. But it's very popular. I don't know, European chocolate bar, and it has like a cherry cream inside. And it's
Oh,
just perfect. And that's what I got at World Market this week.
love
And it
that
was
for
just so
him.
fun.
Love that for you. Love that for
Thank
you.
you.
Um, I haven't been. I think the last time I went to a World Market was when I was with you. There isn't really one near me though to like go to.
Yeah.
But last time I went was when I visited you.
I love World Market because, like, I would decorate my entire house in World Market items. I just bought a mirror from there that I'm very excited about. I love all of their little knickknacks and stuff. And then, like, when you go, you cannot leave without a fun treat, you know?
Remember when you in college you had your mirror and we had to dispose of it in the Greek row
Oh
garbage
my
can? It was like a heist. You were performing a heist to throw away that mirror.
Okay, so the backstory with that, I had received the mirror, and then at some point it completely broke. And long story short, held on to it for a very long time after that because I didn't know what to do with it because my like college house didn't. We had tiny trash cans, and the trash would only get taken every other week, and there were like 6 of us in the house. So guess what? We had a lot of trash as is. conveniently, we did live right next to Greek Row. So moving out, Riley, our friend Anna, and I all hopped in the car, and I put all of the other stuff that I also couldn't fit into the trash cans. And like when we saw that there were no security guard cars, we sort of all ran out, threw a bunch of stuff in the dumpsters, and drove off. You know, like, I think it's so funny because I don't think they would have really cared.
No, I don't think. As somebody who, when I graduated, I had a lot more friends in Greek Row. I really don't think they would have cared at all. But
I love the drama of the moment.
I know it was definitely. It felt very high stakes.
I think I threw like a broken mirror, or not mirror, like lamp away too, like these very big items. So that was very fun. What fun memories in college. But then the only other thing I wanted to talk about this week, as we talk about so many media channels and content, I just wanted to shout out this up and coming YouTube Shorts channel, Chicken Stanley, where Chicken Stanley and friends will sort of be like lip syncing and dancing to popular music. So if you like music, you like dancing, you like fun little characters,
Love that.
Truly cannot recommend it enough.
Excited for, we love supporting small local owned businesses, small entrepreneurs.
Yes, entrepreneurs.
So excited for this.
Yeah. Anyways, how are you?
We might have to get Chicken Stanley on the pod.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll check again on that.
I don't know how that would work, but yeah, you know, I'll have to check in with them. I think they might be really booked and busy though, so I'm not sure.
Which makes sense.
Maybe
we'll see if we can fit it in. Yeah, if the year 2030 when they're finally free.
Yeah, right. But yeah, how are you?
How am I doing? That's a great question. This last weekend, I went to the mall. Which is I haven't been to a mall in a long time.
Yeah.
I went.
When was the last time you went to the mall, you think?
Before that, it could have been years.
Years? Maybe ever.
Ever. I think it was the first time I'd ever gone to a mall.
Yeah.
I went to the mall this weekend, super fun. I do live in the Pacific Northwest, and I was traveling out to Oregon, so I went to a mall in Oregon, so I didn't have to pay tax on my items, which is a great thing. I got I got a chain, which is so great. I was tried so hard to sign me up for a credit card and it didn't work. There's some scamming going on. I'm not going to throw Miss Marina, who helped me with the chain, under the bus, but definitely something was not right in that situation. But it's okay. I got it and it was fine. I do want to talk about Forever 21. May she rest in peace. Forever 21 is bankrupt, diva. Everybody's going bankrupt right now. Joann's is bankrupt. Forever 21 is bankrupt. There's another big retail establishment that is also closing. I can't remember, put it at the tip of my tongue, but a lot of things are happening. And there was a Forever 21 at this mall, big Forever 21, and they had huge liquidation for sale signs. Everything was at least 40% off. And I was with my sibling Rowan, and I said we should just stop in and see what they have. We're seeing Beyonce. And for her Cowboy Carter tour at the end of the month, and so we're like, we still need outfits. We'll see what they have. It literally was like a madhouse in there. It was so insane. Everybody and their mother was at the Forever 21 getting clothes. Ronan and I shopped for maybe 20 minutes. Like, we walked around, picked up some stuff. It was really sweet, really fun. And then we had to get in line for the fitting room. And it was so long. They usually, I guess, have 2 floors of fitting rooms. So they have like the upstairs and the downstairs, but the upstairs one was closed. So everybody was downstairs and it was insanely busy. So many people were wanting, because everything was final sale.
Yeah, I bet Forever 21's like, so where was this sort of energy and enthusiasm a few weeks ago?
Even then, like, I'm like, Forever 21 is still Forever 21 at the end of the day. Like, we were walking through, and I was like, some of this stuff is so ugly. I'm so sorry. It's not like y'all are
at this point in time.
At this point, it's too late. But
and you know what? They were there when I needed them most.
And you know what? I agree. There is something that was Coachella 2016. Like, that was Forever 21 with the little ring zippers. Like,
that is like exclusively what I wore through middle school and like the first half of high school.
Like, there's just something you had to be there for the renaissance of Forever 21. Like, it was the moment.
Like that's vintage now.
Exactly. So it was insane. Like, we were walking through, and I was like, yeah, there's definitely still some interesting things going on in the store. But we found some stuff. I found a lot of shirts because summer wardrobe is coming up. I love a good button up, and I really got the and button up,
Yeah, you
the P
did.
and up. And so we tried some shirts on. It was great. Rowan did try on a dress. Well, it wasn't. It's like a one piece type situation. Allegedly did break the zipper. Allegedly.
It's fine.
No, it's fine. We just were like, yeah, this is this
that
accidentally
back.
happened. It was an accident.
Yeah.
But we were probably in Forever 21 for a little over an hour.
Oh wow.
Not by choice. I mean, I guess by choice, but like the line for the fitting room was so long, and then
They were
trying this
holding you
stuff
against
on,
your will.
and then like the line to like check out, I was like, this is so long. Only Rowan ended up only getting a pair of sunglasses, and I got one shirt. So really, was it worth it? Probably not. But
It was nostalgic.
exactly. In this sale, it's like we're saying our last goodbyes. There's a crazy sale going on online right now. Like everything's even cheaper online. They're just trying to get rid of it all. So if you're looking for some stuff, they did have some cute things like cowboy aesthetic. Like they were prepping for Cowboy Carter. They had a cute shirt that I almost got, but it was like suede, and I was like, I'm not gonna wear this in any other scenario than the concert, and so I don't know if I can justify buying it. But go check out Forever 21 if you're looking for some deals, I guess.
For the next few days, I
The next
guess.
few days while you can. It gets cheaper and cheaper every day.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that they weren't ever sort of able to like evolve with the times. Because
Right.
I think if they would have like done better at just like being in on the trends, they could have really filled a gap. Like
Yeah.
the Shein and like all those other super cheap brands, like I feel like Forever 21 walked so they could run. But if they would have brought that same energy, like I'm also not supporting that
Right.
stuff, like by the way, but like that's essentially what Forever 21 was.
At the
And
time, yeah.
Yeah, and if they would have just like evolved, if they would have like grown up with the people that were purchasing from them, I think it would have been a different story. But I guess they weren't. I don't know. Like once I started going in there, especially late in high school and after that, it's like they had nothing normal. Like give me a normal sweater that didn't have weird cutouts on the back or like some weird details or some weird phrases that
Yeah.
I don't want. Yeah. But yeah. What end of an era.
Rest in peace, Forever 21. But it's party time in Survivor 48.
Yeah.
Yo, we made the merge. The Mergatory. We're getting
stupid.
closer and closer to going back to a normal merge. They're prepping us for Survivor 50, everybody. Yeah. It's been a crazy week on Survivor, crazy week offline, like just in the Survivor community. A lot of stuff is going on, but we do have some things to celebrate. We'll just jump right in, I guess, for the episode 6 coverage.
Yeah.
Siva had just gone to tribal. It was a messy vote out. Bianca was voted out. Goodbye, you were bigger than the whole sky. And we're sort of seeing a weird aftermath where Cedric is like wanting to explain what happened, and Say was like, I don't want to hear it.
I love her for that.
You continue to lie to me again and again. She said, Mitch and Chrissy, I am willing to talk to you guys, but Cedric,
No.
I can't take it anymore. And then Cedric is like, you don't understand what's going on. Like, you don't have the full story. I'm trying to tell you what happened. Like, I had no clue about this. Literally, it's 5 minutes before we left.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't this grand scheme to, like, plot against you, bestie.
Okay, I hear Cedric, but I also see where Say is coming from.
No,
like,
I do too.
The way he, went against what they had planned, I understand why it was so last minute, but I'm also like, You
Wrap
could
it
have
up.
pulled me aside. Where was I?
Right. Again and again, Say is left out of Cedric's grand schemes of things.
Yes.
Put on the back burner. She did for a second think Cedric flipped on her. Like, Cedric was the one that voted her.
Voted for her?
Which I think is so funny.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I would do that.
I mean, he's done it twice.
Yeah.
It was so silly. I love Say. I'm glad that she's still, spoiler alert for the end of the episode, I'm glad that she's still here and we get to enjoy her for longer.
I'm liking her more now because I think she's definitely evolved a little bit. And she even says that as she's moved on to like the new beach. She's like, I may be reevaluating how I'm sort of attacking things. But I love the honesty and she's blunt.
She's having her Emily Flippin story rewrite.
Maybe another sort of rewrite, different story.
We wake up the next morning and it's exciting. Everybody, we are dropping our buffs.
Yeah.
No, we are not merged, but we are dropping our buffs, going onto one beach all together and participating in camp life as one group.
And our names are just gonna have gray letters for a little bit instead of, a merged color.
Because you have to earn the merge. Baby, it's the new era.
So dumb.
I don't... Can we stop with analogies? I'm over analogies.
Yeah.
Chrissy says this is totally like the fire department. It's like the bell goes off and there's a fire. Baby, what?
What?
That's not even... I was like... I get what you're saying, but also like that was so stupid. This is totally like the fire department. It's like the bell goes off and we're all getting ready to fight the fire.
Yeah.
Girl.
She has a point.
She does. You know what? She did say words.
Points were made.
She definitely made a point. She definitely spoke.
Yeah.
And I love that for her. She talks more about how she's excited, Chrissy, to see OG Siva. She's really excited to see these people. She's looking forward to moving forward in the game with Cedric. And she desperately wants him to drop Say. Like, she wants him to realize that that Say is not good for Cedric's game.
Yeah, I like how she's saying, he wants to keep bringing her along, but why? Like, why at this point? And it's like, you know what? That is sort of what anyone else who looks at the situation also thinks.
That's a great question, Chrissy. Keep asking questions. Keep being curious. Keep wanting to know more about what's going on.
In Cedric's head specifically, because, like, if you can figure that out, you might be the smartest person alive.
Literally, baby, you're on your way to $1 million.
Yeah.
This was kind of Star's pop-out episode. Stars had a lot of great moments. We are Stars certified after Star updates. We are a number 2 Star fans here.
Yeah.
And this was kind of she had a lot of great narration this episode, which I think is interesting because we haven't really heard much from her. Like, we haven't been set up to believe that she would be a good narrator, but she had a lot of great narration about what was going on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We see her because everybody is coming to the Loggy Beach. Mm-hmm. And she is sitting there and she's like, the boats are coming. The game is going to be played. It's going to be really exciting. Everybody's going to want to work with me. It's going to be great meeting new people. I was like, yes, Star.
I love you.
Star, we love you, Star. We love you. I'm so excited for her. This is a great episode for her. I'm excited to talk more about her.
Yeah.
Down the line. Everybody's greeting each other on the beach. People are hugging. Everybody's excited to see their OG friends.
I want a hug from Star.
I do too.
The way she was welcoming everyone into her arms, I was like, yes.
I want you to give me a hug right now.
Yeah.
Say is excited to see Mary. She's like, that is my bestie for the restie. I'm excited to work with her. Mary says, whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the clock. Mary is not excited to see Say.
Mary got a wave of PTSD the second Say stepped foot on that beach.
She started breathing really heavily. She was like, I don't know what's going on. She said, oh my God, I can't take it. She's overwhelmed. Mary is done with the color green. She said, I would be naked if I could. I wouldn't wear any of these clothes if I could just get away from the color green.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really funny because I'm like, I wonder why Say has had such a 180.
Yeah, because
I'm
like
like, was
the whole
Cedric's
time.
words really that impactful to you that you were like, hey, I'm gonna work with Mary now?
Yeah, especially because the beef, at least like for most of it, was so just one-sided, Say hating Mary for some reason. So now I love that Mary's like, you know what, I do hold a grudge. Like, I'm not gonna let I don't forgive. You know what? I'll act like I forgive, but I don't forget.
And I think it's interesting because Mary has positioned herself better than she was ever positioned on the OG Vula tribe.
Yeah.
She's much better positioned. Where Say is probably positioned worse now. Now
Yeah.
that more people like have perceived her and like have opinions about her, she's probably in worse standing than she was on just the OG Sivu or oh my god, the OG Vula tribe. So I can understand why she's wanting to connect to Mary because she's like,
Mm-hmm.
Mary can be my saving grace, but Mary's like, I don't need you to help my gate thrive anymore. I'm not the girl on the bottom of the tribe.
Yeah.
So really interesting that dynamic. I'm excited to see it play out some more through the merge. Star gathers everybody in the forest and reads a message. And it's on the lines of tomorrow there is going to be an intense challenge that everybody will participate in. Some people will get a feast, some won't. Only one person will be immune. There is an advantage hidden amongst the forest that will help somebody tomorrow. Only one person can find it. Everybody bolts. And they're looking for it, trying to find it. And it was really quickly. I was having flashbacks to last season, where it was like connected to a buoy in the middle of the ocean,
Yes.
and nobody found it, and it like went quiet because nobody could find it. And then Genevieve randomly was like, "Somebody had to have checked that buoy, right? I'll just double
Yeah.
check
And
just in
she's like, but I
case."
don't want to get wet,
Right.
but I guess I'll have
Right. And then
to.
she ended up getting an advantage, which was great for her. But this one was much different. It was literally on a pedestal in the middle of the forest. Like, it could not have been more clear where this advantage was.
Yeah.
Literally on a pedestal. The producer said, "We're not playing around this time. Y'all got to find this advantage as quick as possible."
Yeah. They said we've got a show to film. Come on.
Right, like keep it going, keep the gears going. Everybody bolts. A group of people see Say run off, and Chrissy follows her. Chrissy sees the advantage, and then Say sort of out of nowhere
I
because
think
Chrissy.
Charity.
Oh yeah, sorry that I and oh no, I did write Chrissy, but yes, it was Charity, definitely Charity. It's the C names and the fact that they were on their OG tribe together. Like I get them
Yeah.
mixed up. Well, I won't be for much longer. Charity follows Say, and then Charity sees the advantage, starts running through it, and then Say out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere. I watched the clip a couple times. It literally pops up out of the fucking grass.
She said, "I'm a runner. I'm a track star."
Literally booked it to
Hurdles.
the hurdles over the grass to the advantage, and grabs it right in front of Chrissy, right in front of Charity.
Yeah.
And it was I was like, good for Say. I'm so excited for her. Hopefully this will help her. I wrote Charity ran towards that advantage like she ran into the Capitol on January 6th.
Yeah, probably.
Have you
I
been
have
saying-
seen some. Yeah.
Allegedly. She was there allegedly.
I just want to say,
and don't cut that out. Keep that in.
Oh, I'm keeping it in.
Keep it in.
Because we can infer things, based on how she. Did you see what she was talking about with the Disney princesses?
No.
She was. There's like an old clip of her
Talking shit about the Little Mermaid?
No, no. She was like, oh my god, she was categorizing them based on political parties, and she was like, I don't remember who she said was a liberal. I think it might have been Ariel for some reason. But then she's like, but Merida, she's brave. She has grit. She's strong. So obviously she's a Republican. People are like, what? Why are you even saying, like, what is this relevant to? It's literally just her in her car listing these out. I'm like,
was this pre her on Survivor or post her on?
I think pre.
She is You know, and that's why we got a lot of backlash asking if she was a gay Mormon flight attendant. Because she's very clearly a
You know?
straight Christian.
What if that was Charity Undercover who commented on our TikTok about that? It was just like,
Right.
she has a husband.
Right, sorry.
Like, we know that. Take a joke.
There's nothing worse in society than people thinking you're gay.
Right.
Girl, been there, done that. No, I was like, I thought that was so silly. I was like, damn, she is bolting towards that. Not fast enough, though.
No.
You can't outdo the doer. I don't know why. There was something weirdly red-pilled about this episode. Not to get into politics, but things were happening, and I was like, this is making me feel... And we'll just go straight into it. So, Say gets the advantage, and then we're back at camp. Everybody's getting to know each other. People are doing introductions. Joe and David are talking for the first time. David says he drinks Joe says he drinks a gallon of milk a day. And David says he does too. I was like, how are we drinking gallons of milk a day in this economy? That seems insane.
Specifically, they say typically chocolate. You're drinking a gallon of chocolate milk a day?
And I wrote something, I don't know why, but something feels red pill pipeline about chocolate milk. Drinking a gallon of chocolate milk a day.
Okay, not so much on chocolate milk.
No, not chocolate milk as a thing. It's the idea of drinking a gallon of milk every day. And the specific hype that we're getting this season around chocolate milk specifically being like, oh, chocolate milk. And then like it bringing you like protein and making you more buff. I'm like, something feels off about this. Like, I don't know what the tea is, but like something feels inherently wrong.
That's just so much money.
So much money, so much milk. Oh my god. How do you have
the space in your fridge? I know Joe just said he just goes to the store like every day, but I was actually a little upset. To talk about something personal really quick, I went to Costco because we get our milk at Costco and we get the lactose free, so it typically lasts a little bit, like quite a bit longer. It doesn't expire for like multiple months, and up until now it's always come in a 3-pack, which is still like a bit much for us, but we're like, you know what, it's fine, we always clear it before the expiration date. It comes in a pack of 4 now, so now I have 2 full gallons. They're like half a gallon each.
That's a lot of milk.
That's a lot of milk, and I'm like, I just do not need all of this. But then I was thinking about it. That's 1 day's worth for those 2 is 4 of these cartons. It's not cheap.
Anyway, yeah, I don't know if it makes sense, but something inherently feels red-pilled about all that scenario, that scene that I watched. I was like, I don't know, I'm getting a weird vibe. And to continue this weird vibe, I was like, I don't know why this is happening. Eva and Joe talk, and they are still number ones. They want to make an alliance work with David, Shaheen, and Kyle. Eva tells Joe, don't tell anybody, but I have Star's idol. She gave it to me in front of everybody. So I'm like, girl, what do you mean don't tell? Like,
don't tell anybody.
Eva was like, don't tell people, but I have Star's idol. I'm like, girl, you have 5 other people watched you get that idol.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, 4 other people watched you get the idol. Like, it's not like...
Out of 13.
You can't control what other people tell other people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, people know.
Everyone knows.
Right. And I'm like, Joe not telling people isn't going to stop people from figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Because obviously the first thing that everyone else did who was on that tribe when they met up with all of their past
was spill the beans.
Was be like, Ava's got an idol.
Right.
And we all absolutely like, oh, Eva.
Right.
Anyways.
It was interesting. I was like, that's a weird vibe.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know if I feel like Kyle will go along. Like, Kyle and Camilla are they're day one, right? I don't see a world where Kyle puts these people in front of Camilla at all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and they also just have a very different vibe in general from the rest of them. Like, it's more circumstances that led them to being on the same tribe and, like, being in this alliance. But, like, let's just, like, be honest with ourselves.
David is talking to Eva, and David is pushing this narrative of, I don't want to be a meat shield this season. I'm sick of the strong people getting out because they're the shields. I'm done being the shield. The strong people are going to work together. He says to Eva, and I quote, "Let's put someone on the podium who deserves to be there." That literally
that
was
made
like,
me mad.
I was like, oh my god, Red Pill Pipeline is slipping out. I was like, this again. Sorry, I'm saying Red Pill Pipeline. I'm just thinking it's a funny connection point. I have no idea what David's political stances are, as clear as I know what Charity's political stances are. Allegedly, this is all alleged. Everything is alleged.
Everything we say is alleged.
I'm just being silly. I'm being silly. David is fulfilling a character arc on this show.
Like,
anyway.
What kind of comment is that?
No,
that
like, you're saying the
there?
last 7 people that won Survivor didn't deserve to win?
Yeah.
Majority of who are women?
Yeah. And because then him and others were going on this whole thing about how we're sick of seeing games that have lying and backstabbing and pizzazz. Shut up. Literally get off my screen.
Joe and Eva saying they don't want to play lying games. Let's all remember about 3 episodes ago when they were lying to Star.
Yeah.
And making her seem like she was in on top of the tribe, making it seem like they were working closely with her.
So it's fine when you do it,
right?
But when other people who might not be as physically strong as you are, or like this weird mindset, drink a gallon of milk a day, when they are lying, how dare they actually?
How dare you lie to me? The only person who can lie is me to you.
Immediately, just like turned off with all of them.
I saw somebody tweet about this last night, that these people as individuals, I'm like, okay, you're chill. Like, Joe as an individual, I'm like, cool. Eva as an individual, I'm like, cool. But then, like, it's the hive mind when you get all of these people together that I'm like, I don't know if I vibe with sort of the mission statement of this group. Like, I'm not necessarily, like, loving where this is going.
I have to call out one more thing, too.
Of course.
Yeah, back on the women thing, I think it's interesting that the only woman on this tribe is someone who said that they do not like working with other women.
Right.
Like, so, right, it's like, individually they might be fine and chill, but then, like, there's these comments and these little things sprinkled in that, like, they build up to just the core values of this group that I do not vibe with.
The core values, our mission statement, I
love a mission statement.
About page on their website, and you figure all this out. I'm like, it just feels wrong. Like that again. The comment, let's put someone on the podium who deserves to be there, is gross to me when we're looking at how diverse the last 7 winners have been. The historic amount of women the last 7 winners have been, right? And I'm like, it feels like what you wanted to say is let's get a white man up there on that. A white man that isn't 60 years old.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, like, and we've had that too. But then, like, who would he even... Okay, let's just run it back really quick.
Right.
I think Erica played a better game than we were shown. You know what? Let's get into the Hunger Games recent book, which is all about propaganda and editing things to be how they want it to be. Like, who knows what her game actually looked like? It could be completely different.
Right.
Even... Who would have won most recently? Was it
Rachel?
Kenzie? Well, no, that they saw.
Oh, yeah, it would have been Kenzie.
Like, compared to the other people that were up there...
Kenzie, there was a lot of... I don't know if you saw... There was a lot of Charlie supporters on this cast. I think David may have even been one of the Charlie supporters. But
I still don't think that, like, Charlie was a clear winner by any means.
Who ran before Kenzie? It was Kenzie, Rachel, Kenzie, Dee. Dee was a amazing
winner.
One of the best winners of all time, of all 48 seasons.
She was strong, strategic, great, just in every way. She was an amazing winner, and you cannot argue. Like, I mean, you can try to argue with that, but good luck.
Great. We had great one. Jam Jam was a crazy social game.
That is a social game, which is part of Survivor. And saying that, like, for whatever reason, Jam Jam didn't deserve to be on that podium is insane to say. Like, did we even watch the same show?
Right. So it's just super interesting. I just don't love that verbiage. Again, this is all about David's edit on the TV show Survivor Season 48. I know nothing about this man in real life. I know nothing outside of him as a character on a TV show.
And what he's told us.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, these are words that came out of his mouth. And I don't really care what context it's in.
Right.
That is a crazy statement.
Right. It was wild.
I rest my case.
Case is rested. I hate the narrative of something that we've been talking about all season, because this has been a narrative that Joe and Eva specifically have been trying to push. Mm-hmm. The idea of, I'm not going to play a lying backstabbing game.
Yeah.
You are playing Survivor for $1 million. It's giving the same vibe of all of the people being mad at Danielle for swearing on her grandkid's life.
Yeah.
How could you do it? Girl, this isn't real life. This is not real life.
It's reality television.
It's reality television. It is Survivor, girl. Like, it's not serious at the end of the day. Like, take a step back, realize that mind you, Eva and Joe have already lied in this game. We have as Monet Exchange and Bob the Drag Queen would say, ocular proof that they have lied in the game. We have seen it with our own eyes. They have lied to Star already in this game.
Yeah.
Multiple times. Y'all are not the saints that you're claiming to be. And then if they get to the end of the game, they claim sainthood. And I'm like, no, there's no way you can get to the end of a game where the game is about lying and not having lied once. A white lie is a lie. Not saying, like, even if it's just like you don't share information, choosing to not do that has a malicious intent.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, there's no way you can get to this end of the game saying that. And Kyle, to keep pushing this forward now, Kyle even responds to that saying, like, he's been lying in this game. The foundation of the position he has with people is a lie. Like, yeah. He's like, these people are not my number one allies. Camilla is my number one ally. Like, at the end of the day, and nobody knows that. My game is
because I've been lying so well this whole time.
Right, a major lie. So Kyle and I think that's what separates Kyle from these people, and that's my winner pick, so yes. I have to stand, that he knows that the game is about lying, and he's never going to he is lying to these people's faces saying that he will play an honest game.
Yeah.
So, like, he knows that what he's saying is not true. Like, he's building it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's not scared of it.
As he should.
Right. So all that to say, it's an interesting group. And when we get to it later about the vote split in a very interesting way. So I'm interested to see how this group moves together in the future, but
yeah,
it's interesting. Charity starts telling people right away about Eva's idol. She, in her head, she wants the best move. She's like, the best move for me moving forward is to split her and Joe up, because I need to get Eva out with the idol, split that duo up. But she doesn't think that it will have enough traction, so she feels like Say would be an easy vote.
Yeah.
And then there's this weird scene where Charity goes up to Star and tells Star that she needs to go back to Eva and ask for the idol back. Yeah. She says, girl, why did you do that? You need to get it back.
Once again, I'm a Star defender. I think giving Eva the idol is actually a good move.
I'm sorry to say, it was, I think, Star's best move yet this season. It was one of the best moves of the season so far. All of the heat, everybody knew that Star had the idol.
Yeah.
So it took because, I'm sorry, we are Star defenders. Star was already going to be an easy boot. People just didn't connect with her on really either of her tribes. Star was going to be an easy name to throw out as a first boot.
When everyone, my gut reaction to her giving Eva the idol was like, oh my god. But after making other moves I didn't agree with her telling literally everyone about having the beware advantage at all and asking for help, I think, honestly, there was no other way to move forward for her if she didn't, somehow get rid of this idol.
It was kind of the perfect way. It was the perfect, throwaway of everything that happened before.
Because it makes her look like a nice person.
Yeah.
Because she is a nice person. But it would have been a very different vibe if she had, just played the idol at some point in Tribal, just to waste, just to get rid of it. It would have been seen oh, well, you were hiding that. We all knew you had it, and now you're playing it.
Right.
That would be such a different vibe, but, giving it to Eva, knowing just, the context of the day and, the vibe, Oh, that could not have been a better move.
It was good, and I want to give her the credit that she deserves and say, like, she knew that this would be a great move. Do I know, inherently, do I feel like Star had that all planned out in her head? Not necessarily, no. But she has put herself in such a great position. She's easily built herself into this group of people, which would have, like, if you were to tell me at the beginning of the game that Star would have, like, filtered herself in, I would have been like, I don't see how that's possible. But it's a great vibe.
Yeah.
I wrote that after after Charity told Star to go get the idol back from Eva, I wrote, Diva, it's not your idol and never was yours. How about you mind your business? Specifically about Charity. I'm like, you have no stakes. What? Just also, so then Star gets a target on her back?
Right, like, why would Star want it back? Why wouldn't you want why would you want Eva to not have it anymore?
Right.
Like you know want Eva out so bad. Because otherwise, like, why would you even really care to get her out? Like, what
other
is she
than wanting
offering?
to split up this perceived duo, but, like, even then. So it was just interesting. Star gets up and goes to Eva and Joe and says, she says, Eva and I are friends now. Why would I want to, like, do that? So she goes up to Eva and Joe and tells on Charity and is like, Charity is throwing Eva under the bus down.
Yeah.
And we need to target her because she is not in our best interest.
Yeah.
We'll get to it at the reward thing, but Star is putting things in motion. Like, she really kicks it off
in ways that I don't even think she realizes.
We'll get there. I'm obsessed with her so.
You know what? We need the people behind Starbase 48 on the podcast.
We do. We need to get them. We need to connect. We need
to do a whole Star deep dive episode.
We do. Without Star, like just
after she wins, though.
Yeah.
After Star wins, then we can do it. Yeah. We'll be in touch. Our people will talk to your people.
Exactly. Let's get into this challenge, y'all. So we get to the mat, the challenge, and Jeff tells us that we are going to be divided into 2 teams of 6, and that the first team to finish will get the merge meal. They get the merge meal, but no immunity and no buff. The losing team on the challenge will have no chance at immunity, where the winning team gets a chance to play for immunity. The losing team will watch the winning team participate, and one person from the winning team will get the chance to be immune and earn their spot in the merge. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And Say, for finding the advantage, gets to skip the first part of the challenge and immediately gets to play in the second part, and she gets the merge feast, which is so exciting.
So yum.
But mind you, this is not the merge. Not the
merge. No, do not get it twisted.
It's the merge feast, but no.
Why are we? Oh my god.
I don't know. I don't know. The challenge itself, I'll do the teams first. So the 2 teams are split up in the following way. We have the orange team, which is Charity, Shaheen, Cedric, Joe, Eva, and Mitch. And then the purple team, which is Mary, Chrissy, Camilla, Kyle, David, and Star. I did not think the purple team was going to win. They had David and Kyle, but I was like, there's a lot of questionable people in this tribe. But then I forgot that the orange tribe did have Cedric. So it sort of balances out.
Big man said.
Here's what the challenge is. They have to race through mud. Like, they have to swim through some mud to a cage where they use a grappling hook to get a large bag out of the cage that has a key in it. Once they get the key, they have to race up a steep ramp.
Ninja. Or just Ninja Warrior style.
Right. And then use the key to unlock a puzzle and then solve the puzzle to win immunity. It's pretty simple
We've
simple
seen
challenge.
This before.
I think what I've connected to is one thing that they always have for every little Mergatory thing. They always have a wall that you have to climb up.
And typically some like mud clay to get through.
Right.
That's gonna dry on them, and they're not gonna be able to have time to wash it off.
Right. I was watching this challenge and I was like, this seems, for the majority of the challenge, up until the wall, I was like, this seems to be one of the most evenly matched Mergatory challenges that I can remember.
Yeah.
Because usually what happens is there's like a blowout, like one tribe just like decimates the other. This was pretty even up until the wall.
Yeah.
I wrote that Cedric is really brave. I know he gets a lot of hate, but I'm like, I would be Cedric in this situation. I'm looking at this from my TV. I'm sitting literally on the floor. You guys can see it right here. I was watching and I was like, you know what? I don't know how I'd be able to do that. Like if I apply for Survivor, I get on and I'm me in this current body, in this current form. I'm like, I literally do not think there is a physical way for me that I would have been able to get up that wall.
Okay, but some of the comments were so funny though. They're like, "Said you can use your legs." Like he wasn't fully just trying to
Pull
his
himself
arm.
up, yeah. And it was all of the other people were using every part of their body. Like Mitch had his legs in the thing, he had his arm, he was grabbing, and everybody was trying to use as much force as they could to get him up. And again, I'm not laughing at
I'm not
Cedric.
laughing at him. Right?
I am
'Cause
not
I know this
laughing at
was
him.
not fun.
I know it was not fun. I knew that was probably so painful and so straining on everybody's body, not just Cedric's.
Yeah.
I can imagine that was painful.
Yeah.
Emotionally, physically. I'm not laughing at him.
No.
I'm Cedric, I stand with you. I was watching you and saying, I don't know how I would approach this at all.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think I'd be able to run fast enough to get up there. Or jump high enough.
I'd
Then
love
what?
to try.
Me when I tell David, I'm gonna need you to be a staircase for me. I'm gonna need you to just sort of lay down and I'm just gonna walk.
Okay, that's the thing though, is they definitely didn't have as good of a system as the other tribe.
No, the other tribe you can tell talked about it and like knew how each person was going to get up.
Yeah. So I think it was less on set and it was definitely like a team thing.
Yeah, like it definitely was not
I
fought.
feel like I think he would have been able to do it a lot easier on the other group.
Yeah.
With the way they were doing it.
Yeah. It was like two people I forget who exactly, but like
I think
like
it was
David made it up first and then Kyle was up
and
and
then
then
they
they were like hoisting people up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That great system.
Purple makes it up first because Cedric struggles a little bit on the wall, and Purple like wins. Orange makes a good comeback, at least on the edit in the puzzle.
Yeah.
But Purple pulls through. So Mary, Chrissy, Camilla, Kyle, David, and Star, including Say, move on to the second part of the challenge.
Yeah.
The second part is a simple ball balance immunity challenge. The ball is on a little
Stick plate.
It's like on a stick, and at regular intervals they have to add height to the stick and balance the ball. And last person standing wins immunity and will be the first person accepted to the merge. Pretty fun battle. It ends up between Kyle and Star. I'm like, this is best case scenario for me.
I know. I was loving it.
I was watching. I was like, oh my god, I don't care who wins. Like, this is great.
I was kind of okay in a. Not to make everything a positive for Star, but like talk about minimizing your threat level.
We're talking about Star updates. At the end of the day, we are Star updates. We do get a Star update.
That'd be crazy. We do a rival Star updates. But like, I do think that her not winning this really lowered her threat level.
I do too. I'm like, man, it's enough presence. People are like, oh, she's in the game, like she's playing.
Yes,
but she's not like. She's playing a really good social game. Guys, are we just hyping Star up? I feel like she's positioning herself really well. Like, I feel like she made it out of this episode, and she had a great edit, like confessional wise.
Yeah.
So it's between Kyle and Star. Kyle ends up winning immunity. He made merge. It's a blue merge tribe. Really exciting. That's my winner pick. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you.
Thank you. This is 2 seasons in a row. I'm feeling really confident, comfortable.
Yeah, hopefully all that lying doesn't catch up to him. Conscious.
No, we'll get there at the end of that. Trust, we'll get there at the end of the episode. We have to talk about this clip for next week that I saw, but. Let's get to the reward. The reward, it's a Mergatory. They're not at the sanctuary where good things happen. It's just a normal feast in the forest. No sanctuary. And they're eating. It's really exciting. Yummy, yummy.
Which, like, why wouldn't it be at the sanctuary?
Right.
Like, You hype this place up so much.
Right.
I guess not all good things happen there.
Not all good things. It's just where good things do happen.
Yes, occasionally.
I feel like this was the group of people that needed the food the most, other than like David and Kyle. But I'm glad that people like Mary, I'm glad that Say, like I'm glad there's a lot of people in this group that ended up getting food, because I think this will do them well when battling against people like Eva, like Joe, like Shaheen, who are built better.
Yeah, built different
in a better way. Star, I wrote Star does not give a fuck. Star does not give a fuck. She said IDGAF. I don't give a fuck. She, the first immediate moment that she could, throws Charity under the bus. Mary says, do we want to talk about the vote? And Star says, I'll talk about the vote. She said, fuck Charity and funk my brother-in-law Robbie.
I know the shout out to Robbie. It was crazy.
Star was dragging her family down tonight. She was letting them have it. She said, Charity is going home, and brother-in-law Robbie, you're done. It's over. The confessional is, she immediately throws Charity under the bus, and it cuts to a confessional where Star is like, my brother-in-law Robbie told me not to throw any names out, not to be the first person to do it. But sometimes you just gotta be the first person to do it. You just got to be the first person. Somebody has to go first. And immediately...
It was the no hesitation.
No, it was the immediate... She goes, yeah, I think I want to vote Charity out. Siva, does that work for you?
Does that work for you? That part got me.
Was like, is that like something you'll be like fine with, or... And then Kyle was like, yeah, I don't see the game as like Siva versus Logie versus Vula. Like, it's definitely not that. It's not as cut like that. So it's but in motion.
Even though I feel like we had already had someone commenting earlier this episode about how they want to stay Siva 6.
It was, okay, so let's jump into this. So it was Chrissy when they first merged. Chrissy has been wanting to be Siva Strong. Even when they swapped first, that was her agenda. She wanted to stay... She wanted to stay Siva Strong. Mitch, obviously very close to Charity, wants that. So there's definitely some Siva people who want it. But then you have people like Kyle and Camilla who have other options.
Yeah.
And you have, who are the other? Kyle, Camilla, you're David. David is up in the air right now, obviously. There's another girl. Charity. Oh, Charity. So Star's the first person to push, Star's the first person to push Charity out, and then somebody...
What were you gonna say?
Okay, I'm about to say it. So then Chrissy, somebody asked Chrissy, and Chrissy says, well, I'd be down voting Eva. Like, Eva's somebody that I'm interested in voting, because she has the idol.
Yeah.
And then Star looks at Stay, and just like, in the general, just out to everybody says, I heard she had an idol. I didn't know she had an idol. And I said, baby, you are just... I said, baby, you're a major part of that story, of the reason why Eva has an idol. Eva just doesn't have a idol. Eva has your idol. It's not just an idol. Eva has your idol. And then I wrote, why is Star just lying for fun at this point? Like, she's just lying to lie.
I just want to know, in what world did, like, that line make sense?
Like
how are you able to follow that up?
I was listening to it, and I was like, Star, baby, I don't think you understand that, like people aren't saying that Eva has an idol. They're saying Eva has your
Star's
idol.
idol.
You gave the idol to her.
Specifically... Charity is going around telling everyone this.
That's how it happened. Like, and I love you, and it was so, I'm like, Star is lying for fun at this point. She is lying to lie, and it's
I hope she does
funny
not get
to me.
caught up in that.
It's so funny to me, because it's like, you're right. And you know what? Star is playing this game how it's meant to be played. You are meant to lie at the end of the day.
Because, like, there's no reason for her to lie about this. Like, there was nothing for her to gain. And it also was just, like, a side little comment. It's not like...
Right. Like, and it was just a random thing. And if anything, she could have... I understand what she was trying to say, but I think it would have been better for her to be like, I gave her that. I couldn't solve it, so I just let her do it, and she solved it. Like, I couldn't figure it out.
Say that. Just be like, she solved it, and so it's hers. So I know for a fact that she has it. It's not rumor.
It's the verbiage. I heard she had an idol. I didn't know she had an idol. Girl, who did you hear it from? You've been on a tribe with her since the beginning of the game.
I think I need to just like take this into real life and lie for fun. Like, I don't know.
Well, I heard that she was quitting her job. I didn't know she was quitting her job. I didn't
Just
know.
like any chance when it just doesn't matter. It's just
Like,
something
and-
funny.
How are those two things different? Like, I heard, I understand why they're different. Like, you don't know
Yeah.
something factually, you just hear it through the grapevine.
But why would she not know that factually?
But why would she know that not factually? In Survivor, it's not like it's like a group of 100 people. You're here. It's not like it's not like a school where you hear things at lunchtime through the grapevine. Like,
There's
oh, she's
13 of you.
there's 13 of you. Half of you are right here right now. Like, it's not like it's not like this came out of nowhere. Like, people can easily trace back, connect the dots on how
so
this
good.
happened. Too good. I love Star. Love Star.
I'll have to check in on the Star Updates Twitter to see what they had to say about
Yeah.
that.
Say is learning all of this info. She did not know any of this. She didn't know
Yeah.
about Mitch's extra vote. She didn't know about Eva's idol. And it doesn't sit right with her, Eva having an idol, and people not wanting Eva out.
Okay, so it didn't sit right with her.
I guess it did not sit right with her. I think that this... I understand what Say was thinking. And again, not to hype up our faves, but I do feel like Say is in the right in this. Because does it make most strategic sense to want to get Eva out, knowing Eva has an idol, one, and knowing that
Yeah.
she's a good connection with at least Joe, two?
Yeah.
I get what Say was saying. Like, I would like that. But... No, we'll get to that later. But it was... So then she starts pushing Eva out. She's like, I'd be interested in wanting to get Eva.
Yeah.
After learning all of this information that's being said. And I think that is fine. I think it makes sense. We start talking about how this is going to be a 13-vote tribal. And I was like, that is really crazy, actually. Like, that's
Yeah.
actually, like, insane, having to control 13 people. What, in a group of 13, you need a majority 7.
Yeah.
Like, that's intense. 7 people, that's more than any of the original tribes had people.
Yeah, that is...
Which now I think is interesting. We'll get this later as game talk starts happening, but it's interesting. We're really putting our new social relationships to the test at this point. Yeah. Charity, they cut back to the people not on the reward, and Charity is pushing Say very hard. She doesn't like Say. She doesn't vibe with her. They haven't talked very much. She's not vibing with it. Mm-hmm. She thinks that Siva has a voting majority. We as an audience know that that's not the case. We know that there's much more nuance to what is happening. It's not just tribe splits. There's a lot of things at play here. The Joe, Eva, Shaheen, David, Kyle group wants to push Charity. Shaheen specifically, we get a confessional from him. He does not want to let Siva stay as a 6. Mm-hmm. Like, as much as he likes David and Kyle and whoever, he doesn't want to give them the other option to going back to Siva. Mm-hmm. Which I think is smart.
Yeah.
We go to commercial, we come back, and this is where the pre-tribal, the game really starts going, because everybody's now in the same camp. The people are back from the reward, and the game is going. We start, though. Say is going to go ahead and tell every person that wasn't on the reward all the food that they got to eat. To multiple different people multiple times.
Read the room.
Diva, read the room.
I like how, though, as she's describing it, she's like, yeah, there are this and this, and then she turns her head and she's like, and nachos.
I love it. Was
like,
and I love that it was a specific thing for each person. Like, it was not just for somebody. And then when it was with Joe, she was like, or when it was with Shaheen, she was like, oh, we did have mozzarella sticks. Shaheen's like, no!
I want to go to Chili's with Say.
Well, she gets down in a Chili's. We were talking mad shit in a Chili's.
Yeah, I want to know what her triple dipper trio
combo
would be.
is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. Oh. I need to queen out with Say so bad. We Star. We get a fun confessional of not fun. It's not fun. It's actually quite. It's moving. Moving is a better word.
Yes.
We get an interaction between Cedric and Star. Cedric is beat up about this. He is what I love is that the people who lost the reward are all cleaned up. Like, they're washed. They got the dirt off of them. And Star is sitting there talking to Cedric, fully muddy. They're covered in mud still. Star is hyping up Cedric. Cedric is feeling down. He's so upset that he feels, and I would agree with what you said earlier, that it wasn't really a Cedric thing. It was an everybody thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was a planning thing.
But I see how it would feel
Right.
like it was all you.
Right. Cedric is beating himself up, and Star is like, you cannot beat yourself up over this. Like, we have so much game left to play. You can't let this one moment be the defining moment of your life, your experience. She's like, you're out here doing this for the fathers. You're doing it for everybody. You, like, my father never would have been able to do what you just did. Like, your kids are rooting for you. We're rooting for you. We love you.
Need her
Motivational speech.
Need her in my friend group.
I'm obsessed with her. It was a really good moment. He is sad for a second, and he feels better. And he's like, "You're right. Let's just power through." And again, Star Mastermind. She's getting those cross tribal connections. She's building relationships with people, and these are the things that are really important at this point of the game. Because if somebody comes up, say, next week or the week after to Cedric, is like, how would you feel about getting Star out? Now, Star is not at the bottom of his list. He's going to be like, well, Star wouldn't be my first option to get out. And he would probably feel more willing to protect her for a little bit longer. Obviously, love you, bestie. Star is going to have to start putting some more game sense in these relationships. Like, you can only take pure social relationships so far. Like, there has to be some sort of game.
I'm scared that she's going to be lying for fun about something in a way that they can't really ignore. I'd be like, well...
They're like, oh, that was actually, like, a big thing you just did. And you're being silly, but actually this is really serious.
Yeah.
She said, oop, let me not forget where I am for a second. Let me remember.
You know, that other alliance that hates lying, hates to see Star coming.
It's just Star coming. She went up to that alliance and said, I heard that she had the idol. I didn't know she had the idol. And we're all like, girl, we know you, girl, we all were there when you got the idol. Like, what are you talking about?
Imagine she wins and they're watching this back on TV. They're like, oh my God. In the same episode, her literally lying for fun, them going on tangent, like rants about lying and
literally
too good.
Love that. Things are picking up after this. So Say is talking, I wrote this. I said, Say, I get why you want to get Eva out, but you need to get Charity out. Because at this point, between Charity, Eva, and Say, there's a really interesting thing going on. It's back and forth constantly.
Yeah.
Like, Charity really deeply down wants Eva out, but is gonna go for Say.
Settling for Say.
Eva wants, okay, we'll get there in a second, but Say wants Eva out as well, but really she needs to get Charity out because Charity's the one pushing her name.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I need you to lay low. Like, I need you to not feel so strongly about getting Eva out and push for Charity. Like, I need someone to tell Say, if Say just knew Charity was throwing her name out, it would have flipped 180.
Game over.
It would have been game over. But nobody brings that to her. And then we have an interesting conversation here where Kyle and Eva are walking in the forest. And at this point, Eva and her little group are pushing Charity. But Kyle tells Eva that Say threw her name out at the reward. And that she was the one pushing Eva. And then I heard this happen. I said, I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that's what happened. Because Kyle made it sound like Say was the first person to bring up Eva's name at the table. I rewound the tapes. Lest we not forget, Chrissy was the one who put Eva's name out first, not Say.
Okay, Kyle.
And so I was like, this is weird, because I remembered, maybe it's because it was so close back to back, I was fast forwarding through the ads, but I was like, I don't think Eva's name came out from Say. Say did say Eva's name, but she wasn't the one pushing it. Chrissy was the one that started it. Yeah. And I think rightfully so, Say was responding to the facts that she was getting from all the angles, learning that Eva had an idol and Eva has a close bond with somebody in the game, and responded correctly by saying, maybe we should look at Eva more.
Yeah.
But it's also not like Say had any traction to what she was saying. I think it would have been different if she had said Eva and everybody was like, there's some meat to that.
Aim was the one giving up the information about the
Right.
idol and like
Say
everything
didn't
else.
know about the idol. Say doesn't know about other advantages. It was Chrissy who brought it up.
Your favorite.
My favorite. And so then I was like, oh my god, this is about to get messy. And it does, because it makes Eva really nervous. Eva's like, this is my first tribal. I have no idea how this truly works until I make it through.
Yeah.
And Eva says that she's now leaning away from Charity and towards Say. But like, Eva should be focusing on Charity. Well, I guess it makes more sense to focus on Say, but Say has no power.
Yeah.
Charity at least has some connections and can get people to vote for you, and Charity wants you out in the long run. Like, not want you in the game.
Yeah, Say is just like the target that everyone's like, okay, fine.
Right. So it's just interesting. It's a lot of back and forth. I wrote things could realistically flip onto Say, but people like Loggy don't want to give Siva the numbers. That's what like Eva is scared about. Like we could flip on Say, but it's too risky to give Siva all those numbers. And then we get a confessional before Tribal, and Charity and Chrissy are talking, and Charity's like, I don't really want to talk to Say. Like I don't want to have to like talk to her if she's scrambling or whatever. Like I don't want to have game talk with her. And I'm like, girl, you're playing a game for $1 million. You should at least know where you should go to Tribal and know where, at least have been told where, you might not know 100% for sure, but you should have had everybody tell you at least once where their heads were at.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Like, there's just no reason. Like, because it's too much work? Or like...
Yeah. Because you don't want to, like, you don't like her personality. You don't want to talk to her. Sure, girl.
Okay, it is giving Say to Mary, though, a little bit.
Sure.
Say's getting the Mary and Stephanie treatment.
Right. Say said, the taste of my own medicine. Wait a minute.
She's like, oh, I actually don't love that. maybe I do need to change my ways.
Yeah. So, we're in Tribal now.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a what's going to happen. Nothing is really solidified. A lot of things are up in the air.
Yeah.
We open up with a ton of analogies from people. And I wrote, speak normal English next time. We originated the language. That is a RuPaul's Drag Race quote. Don't sound off. It's a Ben de la Creme season 6 Snatch game. She's playing Maggie Smith from Dame Maggie Smith, and Trinity K. Bonet, who is playing Nicki Minaj, gets mad at Ben de la Creme because Ben de la Creme's speaking in a British accent, and Trinity as Nicki Minaj goes, Rue, can you get people who speak normal English next time? and Ben de la Creme responds, we originated the language. So that was my reference, is that I'm sick of the analogies. These analogies are fucking stupid anyway. And Jeff even says that. Jeff is like, y'all are throwing a lot of analogies out. Let's just stick to one thing.
That's how you know it's bad.
We go from
Jeff is like
and partying to the dogs sniffing butts.
Okay, did you hear? I think Kyle said though, when they were talking about sniffing butts, and he's like, Cedric knows all about that.
Yeah. I was
that's
like,
crazy.
And then he gets Jeff to laugh, and he's like, I've been trying to get you to laugh for 14 days. I'm like, what is it with talking to Jeff? You and Chrissy. Stop talking to Jeff like he's a person. He's not a person.
He's a robot.
He's a robot. He's the host of the show. Like, stop trying to be his friend.
You think it's not just a hologram at this point?
Right. Jeff isn't really there, y'all. He's in Kansas. That's where he's from.
Oh.
I don't think he's... actually, fun fact... No, I think he was born in Kansas. I think he grew up in Seattle.
Oh.
Maybe.
I'll fact check that.
I think he grew up in Washington. But he was born in Kansas.
Yeah, he was born in... Oh, yes. Okay. You're just
was
a
right?
Jeff Probst super fan.
That's crazy.
He was... Probst was born at Wesley Medical Center in Wichita, Kansas. The oldest of 3 sons to Jerry and Barbara. His family moved to Bellevue, Washington when Probst was 15 years
I
old.
ate that so bad. I ate that so
Oh my
bad.
god.
Anyway, I'm done with the analogies. And one of my favorite moments from this tribal, Charity is talking, and she's talking about how these are real connections with real people. And it gets to Eva rolling her eyes because Eva famously claims that Charity is fake. AF.
So funny.
I loved that. Camilla had a lot. I love Camilla. She didn't get a lot of time this episode, but I saw somebody on Twitter call her Chameleonaire.
Oh, I like that.
I'm so excited for her to win. I'm loving her. She has so many funny side comments. At Tribal, Jeff kept referencing dancing, but it's like she doesn't say it to anybody. It's all just things she says under her breath.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite thing because the camera catches it every time and they just do a small subtitle when she talks. And so Jeff keeps referencing dancing and like types of dances, and Camilla goes, "Bro, he loves dancing." And then I remembered earlier in the challenge, because that's when I thought, I didn't write it down then, but I write it down now. At one point they were working on the puzzle, and she turns around when Orange gets up there, and she goes, "Yo, we have so much time, what the heck?" I was like, I just love her. I love Gen Z.
I love her, and I feel like she loves brain rot words.
I know she does. I just know she loves brain rot. I know she doom scrolls on that TikTok.
She wanted to say, "What the Sigma?"
What the Sigma? Too good. She said, "5 big booms for you." Boom! 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 Oh, so sorry, Charity, your brother. So sorry, Charity, you died in the game. 5 big booms for you on your way out. Boom! I live for her. Get Camilla on the pod. Yeah, she's silly. Before people voted, I wrote that I think at the merge, this is probably the most blended group of people we've had at a merge in the new era.
Yeah.
I just think there are no tribal lines at all.
That tribe swap really
did
helped.
Wonders.
Yeah. It could
it's
not
crazy.
have gone better.
And when you think it's luck, like at the end of the day, it does just come down to luck, and luck was on our side this season, and that's why it just happens. The tribe swaps have not been that great in the past seasons, and this one was really good, and I know it's the arms up for me. And that's why it's just been working so well. I'm really loving this, and we see that reflected in the vote. Crazy vote. We'll get there in a second.
Yeah.
Voting confessionals are really silly. A lot of people are voting for the first time. Star throws the pen on accident. It goes flying from her hand. Drops it. So funny. Eva goes into the voting confessional and says, "Why is everything like shaped like garlic?" So funny. Yeah, and then Jeff reads the votes, and I said, "Ooh, Survivor production was nasty for this one."
And you know what? As they're reading it, Say knows immediately what they did.
Yes,
like you can see her flip to a smile.
Mm-hmm, as soon as it's like the 5 Say votes are read, and then instantly that first Charity vote is read.
She smiles so big.
Charity starts to frown. And it flips on Say, and then Charity starts picking up as each vote gets called more and more. And Charity gets voted out in a 7-5-1 vote. Crazy merge vote.
So good.
Crazy merge vote. So exciting. I said that they're crazy. They're all cheering for making the merge, and she isn't even in the boat to Ponderosa yet. Like she's still getting checked by medical in the medical tent, and they're all screaming about making it.
So loud.
So
I was thinking
loud.
about that.
Mitch was left gobsmacked. Charity is not pleased. She looks pissed off.
Yeah.
Mitch is clearly upset. He was really the only person sort of left out. I think probably the only person that didn't know that Charity was going to catch votes today.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine you're now on a tribe of 12 and you're very clearly the person on the bottom? I would feel nauseated.
But I also, like, yes, absolutely. But also, I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't have any heat on him.
Right. Like, I think he made it through pretty quickly, other than the fact that he voted for Say, and we know Homegirl loves to hold a grudge.
Yeah.
Miss Thing will hold a grudge till the day she dies. So, It's interesting. And that's the vote. I wanted to talk on well, okay, so here's the vote split. I went through war trying to get this, so y'all are gonna appreciate it. I think it's so funny. Say the first moment she gets, does go ahead and vote for Cedric. Not once is his name brought up at all, and she did not hesitate to vote for that man.
So good.
The votes for Say are interesting. Mitch and Charity, obviously, and then David, Eva, and Shaheen. And then for Charity, it's Chrissy, which is another interesting turn on her Siva. Chrissy, Star, Cedric, Kyle, Camilla, Mary, and Joe.
Yeah.
So Joe and Eva split. Their alliance split down the middle, but not in the way that you would think. Because David, Eva, and Shaheen voted one way, and then Kyle and Joe voted the other, and I don't think that was intentional.
No, I need a full breakdown of what happened.
It surprises me that Joe and Eva did not vote the same way.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll get it next episode. But the way that these votes split were not the way that it makes sense to split at all.
No.
I just think people just weren't sure. And it was, again, a lot of these people's first tribals. So I think there was some, like, probably weird, like, not knowing exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, maybe even less strategy going into it than we're thinking there was.
Right, because people just didn't know what to expect.
Maybe they were also like, I don't really care if it's between the two of them. Who cares? Right,
literally. And that seemed to be a heavy mindset throughout this pre-tribal phase. Is like, it doesn't really matter who, one of them just has to. One of them's the easiest. But yeah, the vote split, it was very interesting. Not the way that you would assume so. I wonder what the next move is now that everybody's attended tribal and people's actual allegiances have been tested.
I want to see Say and Cedric. I want to see what happens.
Like that is my favorite. This relationship, this rivalry at this point is so interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of giving was it Dolores and Tom Sandoval in Traitors?
Yes, consistently
they just
voting for each other.
Get each other out of their heads.
Right. But yeah, that wraps up this episode. Sorry for the longer podcast, but I feel like we stayed pretty on topic.
I also think most of our recent episodes have all been an hour 20.
Got it. Love that. I don't really usually watch the Next Time clips, but there was a moment that I just have to talk about. Was at the end of the Next Time clip. Shaheen is, again, painting on a tree. What is Shaheen defacing these trees? I'm like, what are they going to do for next season?
He's a graffiti artist.
He is a graffiti artist. Camilla in the Next Time, Shaheen is painting on the tree, and he's in the forefront, she's in the background. She makes direct eye contact with the camera, and in confessional, we hear her say, I know what we're going to do. We have to pin it on Shaheen. She doesn't say it. It's like the narrate in the background, but I'm like, ooh, something crazy is about to happen next episode.
I love it.
So yeah, something to look forward to. Super exciting stuff. I think this was a really fun episode, a really fun merge.
Yes.
There was obviously we are not big fans, and I think most of the Survivor viewing public are not huge fans of Mergatory, but I think we're getting closer and closer back to our roots. This was a fun episode. It didn't feel like anything shady happened.
No.
And it felt low-key, the person who was meant to go home went home. Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm
so glad it wasn't Say.
There are really, I'm so happy it wasn't Say, but there's nobody left. I think the only other person, sorry, not to disrespect our first responders, Chrissy. I'm like, if Chrissy went, I'd be okay with that too. But everybody else is sort of offering something. And even Chrissy is starting to offer things a little bit here and there.
Yeah. I think I'd rather see Superman go home over Chrissy. Not a first responder, but
valid too. So valid.
Really anyone, you know what, actually? Anyone from that group. I'd actually be fine with anyone but Kyle.
Anybody but Kyle going home. Yeah, I'm excited. I think this will be it's going to be and Say is still in. It's going to be a really fun, messy merge.
And you know what?
Messy merge.
As much as I don't like the narrative from those people, I love having people that I actively am rooting against.
And not for personal, like, I'm not like, oh, you're a bad person. I'm
No.
I'm like, I love rooting against your archetype. Like,
You're not the player for me.
right.
And I love that. And
I'm sure
I will
Facebook loves you.
I'm sure Facebook loves you, but I am preying on all of your downfall.
Yeah, which makes it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for watching. This has been a really fun episode. If you like the pod, you can subscribe to us here on YouTube, like, comment, ask for some advice in the comments. Leave us some advice, and maybe
Please
next episode we'll do a segment and we'll give somebody advice.
Yes.
So do that. Leave us some questions. If you want more content, you can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Making Fire Pod. It's really popping off over on the TikTok, so engage with us over there. I think we have we have double the amount of followers on TikTok than we do subscribers on YouTube.
Come on, let's up those numbers. We need that HelloFresh.
It's giving that the Pam quote from The Office where Dwight is, or who it was, like, Andy was like, "What, you doubled your sales from 1 to 2 this month?"
Oh, yeah.
That's to Pam in the confessional, and she goes, "Yep,
Yeah.
sure did." That's giving us with our double count. Anyways, follow us at Making Fire Pod on Instagram and TikTok. Subscribe, and we'll see you next week with a fun episode of the Making Fire Pod.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to see how this turns out.
Bye.